Hello, good morning. Let's talk about now reading fluency. There are many parts to learning to read. One of them is fluency. Growing in our fluency make us to be better readers. Fluency is being able to read with speed, accuracy, and expression. In order to understand what we read, we need to be able to read fluently with reading aloud or silently in our head. Let's look at speed first. Fluency is not about reading the fastest. We also don't want to read very slow. We want to read at a just right note or rate, not too fast and not too slow. Let's take a look as when I'm first reading a story in a low speed. She sat reading a story about a woman who sat on a bus reading a story. Now, did that sound a little slow to you? But if also read it like this in a fast. She sat reading strong about a woman who sat on a bus reading a story. When I read it just right, I will be able to understand it a lot more, and a great way to improve your speed in a read book, again, to increase your speed. Another important being a fluent reader is to read with accuracy. So, what is accuracy? Accuracy is reading the word correctly. We don't want to have this just right speed but then read a lot of words wrong or correctly or skip them. We want to be able to sound out and identify the word correctly. Let's continue our story about the girl reading on the story and practice the accuracy. Then look up to find that she was, in fact, a woman sitting on the bus reading a story, even though it seemed to her that a moment before she hadn't been on the bus at all. You show that I need to adjust some of my reading to make sure I was reading the word correctly, or fluent reading doesn't skip the word either. A great way to improve your accuracy is to track your word with your finger to sure that you're saying matches what the book say. The another important of being fluent reader is to read with expression. Expressions means adding feelings in your story and making sure to attend your punctuations. So, noticing that punctuation, listen to me and read part without expression. All of a sudden, I heard something. Was that a car? It was coming down the road, right towards the turtle. Reading that way doesn't help me understand the story or make a story very interesting. But when I use expression, reading out loud or even in my head, it makes a story more interesting. Let's read again with expression. All of a sudden, we heard something. Was that a car? It was coming down the road with towards the turtle. Do you hear the difference that the punctuation tell me when to pause and change my voice? If I don't pause a punctuation, it doesn't make a sense. If I say all, it doesn't make sense. Also, when I see a question mark, my voice goes up. Was that car? And my voice has stronger emotion with an exclamation point. It was coming, doesn't? It was coming down the road, right towards the turtle. As you read with a just right speed, with accuracy, and with expression, you will understand and comprehend so much more. This help you to follow the strong so that reading is so more enjoyable.